Hey guys, it's Katie Taylor, and today is day 9 of the best of 30 days of sketches. And we are using this sketch from Susanna Lee, and it's all about circles. So let's take a look at my layout. So here is a look at that sketch. So you can see the 3 oversized circles and then a whole bunch of little circles and a whole bunch of journaling. Now I've used my Cricut to cut those circles out, and then I've pulled out my fresh paint to document these 3 silly photos of our sons. So I am going to prepare this white daisy piece of cardstock by putting some black shimmer brush splatters all over it. So I've just squeezed that black shimmer brush onto my glass board mat. It makes it really easy to clean up. And then I am just sprinkling that all around. I'll show you that shimmer here in just a second. So to clean that up, I'm just going to wipe it off with a dry rag and then come back in with a wet paper towel, and then we can get started. That shimmer brush dries really, really fast. So I've got that cleaned up, and here is a look. Can you see that shimmer on that piece? And I just love, number 1, the paint splatters, and number 2, that shimmer. So by cutting the circles out of my base layout, I'm able to keep my photos whole, which I prefer to do instead of cutting my photos into shapes. So I'm pretty sure this is the way that those photos are going to go. So I'm just going to turn my white daisy cardstock over and add adhesive to the back and then lay it on top of each one of these photos. So there is a little method to my madness on the placement of these photos. So this one at the top right, of course, you see our oldest son. He is standing there, which kind of puts a stop to your eye. And then, of course, that bottom one fills that circle. And then that left one, the same concept with our oldest son. So off camera, I've trimmed the edges off of that, and now I am trying to decide which piece of pattern paper I want from behind this white daisy cardstock. I think I'm going to end up going with the brighter color, even though I love that black and white checked. It just didn't have an even amount of checks all the way around, if that makes sense. So before I glue this down to that heart graffiti, I am just taking my black ink pad and running along the edge of this cardstock. You guys see me do this a lot, usually with a sponge, but on this one, because of that fresh paint pattern paper and the stickers I'm going to use, it just works better, that harsh line of direct ink to paper. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of those ink lines just by making sure that I get more of the ink onto the white daisy. So the circles were just kind of getting lost. So I'm just taking a bowl that I usually have some of my embellishments in, and I am just putting those over those photos and then taking a black journaling pen. Because I couldn't really see what I was doing, you can see here that circle is uneven. So to remedy that, I'm just going to draw a second circle around each one of those, and then just kind of add some doodling marks here in just a second. And then that way it kind of adds a definitive border around the circles, and then also it kind of hides the unevenness that first round of drawing the circles created. So where 2 of these bowl or these circle lines meet, I am going to do my heartstrings. So if you haven't seen me do that before, I'm going to zoom in right quick and show you how it's done. So in order to draw heartstrings where the 2 lines meet, you just draw 2 loops and then some squiggly lines off to the left and the right. So 2 loops, squiggly, squiggly, and then that really is it for the heartstrings. For my title, I am going to use that love sticker. I've taken the sticky off of it and then added 3D foam tape. And then I'm also pulling out some of the acrylic shapes from the Fresh Paint collection. So there's white, blue, black, and red. I think I'm going to stick with just the red and the blue. In the end, I end up doing the hearts in red, I believe some stars in the blue, and then in this little bowl, I did have some of our wooden stars that were painted with some gloss sprays. It's supposed to be yellow. It really looks a whole lot like the nectarine that is in the Fresh Paint collection, so I decided to use those 2 stars as well. So you can see here, I've just laid those down, and then I'm going to pull out the sticker sheet and find a couple of stickers that go really well with these photos. So that one, I believe, says so cool, I think. I can't remember. And then I really like this bubble, but I'm going to have a whole lot of journaling in the center of this layout, so I end up not using that. And then there is the LOL, which really could go for any 3 of these photos, because they just, her youngest son, he just was a ham in this whole deal. So that blue sticker says timeless, and I am just going to put those right to the right of that love. So before I stick the love down, I am going to be adding the words my boys using the Daisy alphabet stamp set. So I'm just going to pencil mark a line so I can somewhat keep that part of the title straight. And then I am just going to be inking those letters up in just regular black ink to kind of match the black splatter. So once again, it's going to say my boys. Now, this is one of my favorite alphabet stamps. It is actually going to be retiring at the end of August. So if you want it, I'll leave a link down below. And then I'm going to add the letter I. I don't really think it was necessary, but I kind of liked how the title just flowed better with it. So I love my boys. Here you will not see, I end up adding some clear shimmer brush to that love. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video and you can see that. So in the top left, I felt like it needed something. So I am using the paint splatter from the scrapbooking, the Fresh Paint scrapbooking stamp set. And I love how that looks, but I don't like the abrupt end. So I am going to just ink up some of that again and just kind of make it look like it's trailing off to the right. And I love that so much better. So you can see that paint splatter. I did add a little stitching just with my journaling pen, and that is pretty much it. Here is a look at the finished layout, and of course a close-up of that paint splatter made with that stamp set. And then here is, of course, that cute little boy right there with the timeless and the LOL. Here's another look at those heartstrings, and then of course my boys being super silly. And then here's a look at that extra shimmer I added to that love title. So don't forget, I will add links down to all the products I used down below, and then a link to the playlist of the best of 30 days of sketches, so you can check out all the videos. And then I'll also leave a link to Christy's Facebook page so you can go and play along with us. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave a comment and a thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications so you won't miss another crafty video. Thanks, and have a wonderful week.